Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live, Southern Big Bass Tournament Update, and other things we'll probably talk about. I am not, as you can tell, not in headquarters of Shane Flynn Outdoors. I am in Great State College, Pennsylvania, doing some work up here. But due to the good old internet, we can be anywhere and have it live as long as we got connectivity. Hey, James Allen, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short tonight, seeing that I'm traveling, but I will do an update. And Gary, how are you doing, buddy? James, thanks for stopping in. And James from Crankin' and Yankin'. Old James. If you don't watch Crankin' and Yankin', you should. Not a lot of fish got turned in this week, and I'm not surprised because everybody waits to the end, seems like, to turn in their fish. Leonard, thanks for stopping in, friend. Thomas Campos, of course. How you doing? But yeah, it's just I think we only had 3 fish turned in this week. So it was easy on me to update the spreadsheet. Bass Hunter, what's going on? Hope you're catching some fish. I'm up here in Cole, Pennsylvania this week. I get back on Friday. And hopefully, when I get back on Friday, I have a doctor's appointment. I think I'm going to get this cast off my leg, and I think my broken leg is going to be healed enough I can start walking. Now, I'm not going to be able to jump on my boat and run a trolling motor probably for another couple of weeks, but I'm looking forward to being able to walk. Let's just put it that way. Hey, Spaceman from the West Coast, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, James, yeah, I know we had a lot of rain down there in Louisiana. That doesn't surprise me. Caught a lot, but nothing bigger than my last. Well, you got a big one, Leonard. You got a pretty good one. James, I mean, I know the stories about the pond. I mean, when you first moved in there, you said there was a 10-pounder caught in there. So, I mean, you might catch that monster in the pond. You never know. You never know. If you don't go try, you will never know for sure. Thomas said, I know the feeling. That's why we call it fishing, guys, and not catching, right? So, well, here's the thing. Yeah, Brian, I know it's been cold down there. You and I talked about this last time I called you. But the weather's going to change a little bit. But they were right there, ready to go. If they're not still there. Hey, Kenneth Tipton, good seeing you, my friend. Someone ate the 10-pounder. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me. But James, you got to get some of those dinks out of that pond. You're growing runts. You don't have enough forage in there. You got to thin those things out. Fry you up about a dozen, 12, 14 inches. Thin those bass out. They won't grow if it's overpopulated. Hey, Kenneth, again. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, you got to have the forage to feed the fish, right? I was growing up, I had farm ponds everywhere, and the farm I know which pond to go to catch a lot of fish, and I knew which ponds to go to catch big fish, and they were hard to catch the big ones in the ponds because there was only they were few in there versus a lot. So, hey, Russell turned in fish this week. Actually, turned in a couple fish. So, bass tacos. I'm telling you, I'm a big, I don't eat a lot of fish. I eat salmon tonight. I'm not a big salmon fan, by the way, because I got spoiled when I lived in Alaska. But probably 3 or 4 times a year, I'll catch a limited bass and bring them home and fillet them and cook them up. So there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, if I had my choice, I'd want a big mess of crappie or walleye. Walleye and crappie are the best freshwater fish to eat, in my opinion. So, Well, I hear you, John, or James. All right, folks, we've been in here about 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and throw the spreadsheet up for the first time. I know that's a lot of you just want to see that. So let's go ahead and throw that out there. Let me get my screen ready to share. And like I said, not a lot of fish turned in this week, but here's our top 25. Here we go. Alan Willis is still in top place at 23.5. Jason Warner at 22.75, and then on and on. So 22 is the money line right now. So if you get above a 22, you're right now, as we speak, you're in the money. So because we pay out 5 places. So that's where we're at right now, top 25. I think that 26th person is Gold James, hanging in there at 18.25. So there we go, folks. Not a lot of change from last week. So I do expect a lot of fish to come in this weekend, of course, right? Because the tournament ends Sunday night at midnight. So you want to have all your fish turned in Sunday night. Midnight your time's fine if you're on the whatever time zone you're in. I'm not that picky. Yeah, that's right, Spaceman. 17 fish over 20 inches. Yeah. Brute Tank, you caught a walleye at Mooney. How big was it? Brian saying he caught a walleye at Mooney as well. I have probably caught 7 or 8 there myself, and they were like 14, 15 inches, but big, thick, fat ones. I can't wait till they get that 2 and 3 pound range. Maybe this spring, maybe this fall, summer, they'll be in that keeper range. Man, that's good eating. Good eating. Well, Russell, you're right. Russell made one snake. We have snakeheads in Virginia, and I have caught a couple snakeheads. I just didn't keep them. But the next one I catch, I'm going to keep because I want to try a snakehead for sure. I'm going to fry that booger up. Yeah, I hear you, James. That happens. Set the hook. That was my phone, but it was a dogfish. Just my luck. Yeah. Oh, Brian, that was an 18-inch. That's a keeper walleye. Yeah, I got you. PB, not your phone. I got you, James. Linda, welcome. Thanks for coming in. John's downloading content. Imagine that. You guys been out on the water, I'm sure. Yeah, but Brian, you don't have a way to keep your fish, and that's the only challenge. I mean, I guess you can put them on a stringer in a kayak, but it's kind of a challenge to drag that fish all day long. Hey Ted, thanks for stopping in, my friend. I caught a little bit of your live today, Ted. I just couldn't comment. I was talking to other people. I was multitasking, and I'm not good at that. Only thing I'm good at doing 2 things at one time is reeling and trying to net a bass. That's the only thing I can do 2 things at once. Yeah, I do. Oh, you carry a cooler. I didn't know you carry a cooler, Brian. You carry so. I know a lot of you, most of you are not in Virginia. There's a few of you in here in Virginia and probably have seen Brian on the water. I can spot Brian's kayak when it's way out there a mile away because he's got so many poles to get up. You got a lot of equipment on that kayak, Brian. You do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you and Brian can say the same about me. I got 16 rods and probably 200 pounds worth of tackle on my boat. That's why I can't wait to get my new boat. So yeah. By the way, that I talked to the guy that's building the Shockwave, Matt Downs at Trick Tens, and I told him to shoot for the middle of May. So I need to give him a call. It's coming up on the middle of April to see if we can have it done by then. So He's got a lot of boats. If you haven't checked out, he master fabricator of aluminum, changing out aluminum boats and putting decking in. Done a lot of cool projects. So I'm looking forward to that. So, hey, Josh Caney, long time no see, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. So let me throw up the spreadsheet one more time. And like I said, I want to try to keep it a little bit short. And I'll just go ahead and share this. Get out there and let everybody get another look at this spreadsheet. There we go. 23.5, still in the lead. Again, folks, midnight Sunday in your time zone is when all your fish are due in. And I know we got some sleepers out there. I've got a couple texts from folks that have my number, and I don't know if they're bigger than 23.5 though. But again, 22, since we're paying out the top 5 this year, and that would be Roger Barnett and James Allen right now are sitting in the money. And because Kevin Gray didn't have a weight on his, so the tiebreaker is the weight in our tournaments. So there we go. So get those fish in as soon as you can, or wait till the end. That's up to you. But I do want to talk about the next tournament just for a minute. The Northern Big Bass Tournament kicks off on, I think it's the 15th. Let's see. Let me make sure. Runs for 30 days. It kicks off on the 17th of May. 17th of May, the Northern Big Bass Tournament kicks off. So a few of you are probably in here fishing North Ted. If you're going to fish it this year, kicks off on the 17th of May and runs through the middle of June. 4-week tournament. All of our tournaments now start on a Saturday and end on a Sunday for 30 days. Spaceman, there you go. I just told you. Your tournament's next, which you have won before. Oh, you won the West, but you do pretty good in it. Should do a winter tourney. I might do it. We'll see. I've been thinking about doing something local, Brian. We'll talk about that sometime. Yeah. The timing's perfect for the North folks. That May 15th to June 15th in like where I'm at here in central Pennsylvania right now. Actually, I'm in Center County, Pennsylvania at State College. I mean, it snowed. It snowed on Monday. I looked out there. It was like a blizzard snow. So, the timing for the Northern tournament's really, really good. So, yep, you do a big one, James. It's all about getting out there and throwing your arm off. Well, Spaceman, if we got enough participants in the West, I would definitely turn that. If I had 50 participants in the West, I'd turn it back on. I need 50. I want to say we're probably around 30, California, Oregon. Actually, I got some Utah folks registered, Idaho folks registered for the Northern tournament. So we're getting close. So, Russell, the leg is healing up. I'm hoping on Friday, my next doctor's appointment, they're going to let me start walking on it. And it'll probably take me a week or two to get back in shape. Most of you don't know. I don't talk about this on this channel, but I'm a big runner. I run a lot. I've ran over 50 marathons in my life, and I have been going nuts, not only because I can't fish, but can't exercise. But I think it'll be a couple of weeks before I can start running and get up there on the boat and run the trolling motor because the balance, I haven't been using this leg for a while. So we'll see, Russell. But thanks for asking, my friend. Thanks for asking. Josh says, we were sitting in Central Alabama, and the big one just came up on bed. Any of y'all seeing that? Good question. I know some folks from the South in there. Yeah. The weather's been crazy this year because it's right now, typically in Virginia, about the 10th through the 20th of April, depending on the moon phase, those big ones are getting on the beds here. Yep. And we're behind. Yep. Brian says it's water temp is 58. So I usually watch that water temperature real close throughout the spring. And what I've learned over my time, my experience is when the dirtier the water, the murkier the water, the faster to warm up in the spring. The clearer the water, the slower to warm up because it's just clear, it doesn't hold the heat and the color, right, of the tinge of the lake. But not when they hit 62, 61, 62, 63, sometimes 60. It depends on the lake. But when it sustains for 2 or 3 days and not on the exact surface, but it needs to be 3 or 4 foot deep, depending on your lake. Like Lake Mooney, they spawn at 6 to 8 feet of water. They don't spawn in a foot of water in Lake Mooney, where me and Brian fish a lot at. That water's crystal clear. But once that regulates out at that 61, 62, boy, they get on it quick. Your water temperature is 72, Josh? Holy cow. Man, they should have been spawning a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay, you're saying you are 6 weeks, 2 months late. Wow. That's interesting. Weather has a lot to do with it. For sure. This year is a little off for us, and of course I'm not on the water because of the broken leg. But I talked to Brian a lot, and I talked to some other fishermen, and I would say if we'd have sustained the temperatures we had like last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was wearing shorts. If we'd have sustained that air temperature for another 2 or 3 days, everybody got on the beds. But nope, cold front came through and it's crashed it. So I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. Wasn't it down in the low 30s yesterday and today? So I mean that when you get that, especially if you got Florida strain bass, man, that cold water turns 29. Brian says it's 29 degrees. Bass go back down. They go back down. All right, folks. We will not have a live next week. I will be putting out the results of this tournament next Wednesday night. My goal is to have it done next Wednesday night. I should have that done. But if I don't, I'll send a note out to everybody. So look for the results of the tournament coming out next Wednesday night at 8:30. I try to do everything at 8:30 on Wednesday nights. So if it doesn't come out again, I'll email everybody. But good luck to everybody. And if you have any questions or concerns, or if you've seen your name's not up there and you sent me a bass, it might have got my spam filter or something like that, make sure you email me again and let me know. You guys know I'm human. I can make errors. But just make sure you give me those fish by midnight or close to midnight because we close out on Sunday. So tight lines, everybody. Good luck and have fun fishing.